What's up, everybody? Coach Dave here, Coach Big Dave in the podcast room. Make sure you guys check out the Madcast podcast. We have so much fun. It's a blast, and you should definitely check it out. I'll put a link down there to the latest episode, which I think is EJ. Super interesting story. And you should check it out. So let's talk about it, guys. 24.1. What do we do with that? What a great workout, actually. The 21, 21, 21, 21, 15, 15, 15, 15, and 9, 9, 9. It's an awesome workout because it's simple and it's pretty challenging also. I think it's also approachable by everybody. Like everybody can do this workout. If you're a beginner, the weight might get you. For some folks, if you're not strong, and you're in the regular age group, you know, that 50-pound dumbbell could be a lot. It's 90 reps, 45 each side. For some, it's just going to be the conditioning of the burpees. You know, 90 burpees is tough as it is. If you're in one of those beginner categories, it's going to be a tough workout. Yeah, because it's like the time is going to take is, you know, close to 15 minutes. And you're going to get this Fran feeling. You're going to get the Fran cough, you know. Your lungs are going to be screaming, your legs. I think for most of you, unless you have issues with the weight, like your shoulders should be fine. They'll be tired, but I think you're going to feel it more in your legs and your lungs and your back because it's hinging every rep. Okay, guys, let's talk about how we're going to prepare for this. So the first thing I'm going to do is check out the app. I'm going to open up the Mad app. We're going to look in there. I have a movement prep that's about the same every day. It's really good, designed to get you to work. So if you scroll through, like we're going to look at, once we open the app, like boom, I'm opening the app. You can see row for 5 minutes. We can row or bike for 5 minutes. And we're going to do this ham drill and check out, listen to the instructions as KO and we do the ham drill. All right, guys, we're watching KO do the ham drill. Notice he comes down to a lunge stretch, and then he rotates his hip towards his foot, get that IT band, and then rotates away and reaches for the sky. Then we drop into a pigeon. And you want to hold each one of these maybe a second or two, maybe a little longer if it's tight, but it's dynamic. Then from pigeon, we go into frog stretch. That's a great stretch. And then climb up into bottom squat, hold that for a couple seconds, and then maybe duck walk a little bit, work on the ankle mobility as well. And we'll start with the other leg. Into the lunge stretch, face your foot, and then get that IT band stretch. Then rotate away, reach for the sky. Come down into a pigeon stretch. And then back into a frog. Again, if you need to hold one of these a little longer, you can, but ideally it's supposed to be dynamic. It's supposed to get you prepared to move. After a frog, bottom of the squat, sit there for a couple seconds, and then duck walk. Great stretch, guys. Do these every day. That was the ham drill, hip and ankle mobility. You can see if you do that every day, man, you're going to be feeling pretty good. That should be definitely in your standard warm-up procedure. And then we're going to see, like, we want to come and do our leg swings, you know, and check Lamise here. She does her leg swings. We're doing leg swings, 20 each leg, wake up those hamstrings. And then from there, we're going to go to our banded shoulder warm-up. And this is super important, guys. Super important since this workout is, I mean, it's all hips and shoulders, right? But, I mean, that's most CrossFit workouts, so you can't really complain about that. But we're going to watch Chelsea do, she's going to do M's. You know, her eyes are forward. It's not a lot of resistance. It's very light. You can use, you know, if you have any of devices, or that's just a regular band, like a very light, I think it's a green band. Yeah, M's, T's, Y's. You're working really hard to hold that position, and that's just waking up all the rotator cuff muscles. Before it's really 180 reps. Oh, and here we have our external rotation, which is super important. Important to come to the 90. Don't come past that. You're really not doing anything after that. And so that was the Mad app, guys, and that's what you want to do to prepare, and then we'll do some rounds of warm-up movements. Let's say 15 calories, probably 10 to 15 calorie row, nice and easy. So about a minute-ish. Jump up, do some Russian kettlebell swings, and make sure I do my banded shoulder mobility. and then maybe some light dumbbell snatches just to get used to that, or even hang snatches, just to wake that up. I would do probably 3 to 4 rounds of that. And if you know you have an issue, I definitely would put some press ups in there. That is probably one of the top 2 or 3 exercises, stretches that everybody should do. There's 3 of them. There's the press up, the chin tuck, and then thoracic extension. Everybody should be doing those. And so you definitely want to do some of those because you're going to be bent over a lot in this workout. This workout's going to bend you over. That was a terrible joke. But you definitely want to hit those stretches, right? After you do 3 to 4 rounds of that, what I would do is spike my heart rate. And how am I going to do that? Most of the time I have my guys do like half a Tabata on the bike. So let's say we're going to do 4 rounds of 20 seconds max effort, 10 seconds rest. Just 4 rounds, so 2 minutes, right? Boom, go hard. You might get a little pump in your legs. You get the heart rate up. This way you're not as shocked as when you get into it. And then I would rest for 8 to 10 minutes. Chill out, still move, still stay loose. Definitely make sure my hamstrings are stretched. So I did some, in the warm up, do some swinging, Frankenstein kicks or leg swings, keep them loose and be ready to go. And then when it's time, I'm going to go. Here's the strategy, guys. If I'm a beginner, we're going to look at, Scott right here is really tall, right? Scott is a swimmer, super, super tall. And we're going to look at Scott, look at Scott doing some of these dumbbell snatches. So for Scott, being especially tall, what I'm going to have him do is I'm going to have him use his legs more, Like I'm going to say, Scott, I want you to bend down a little bit more, or bend with your knees a little more. His legs are going to get tired, but he's tall and I know he has back issues already sometimes. So we don't want to fire up that back. Like I really want you to, come down and use a little more leg. Like you see here, he's tired. He's bent over a little bit. You see that? Got the jump. I would like more knee bend, if that makes sense. And so if we go back, and Chelsea's a lot shorter than he is, but if you look at her, like she doesn't really have to bend the knee as much. She's already on the floor, but notice she is bending her legs, making it more legs and less back. And for Chelsea, that's a good pace because Chelsea's going to get in the 6 minutes of this WOD. Yes, she is. So watch her pace on burpees. If you're advanced, this is what you want. Like she's just going, boom, over. Notice she never stands up. She stays bent over on her burpee, right? She doesn't stand all the way. She stays down. Boom, hops over and down. Hop over and down. And then if you contrast that to somebody like Scott's, like 6'3", and let's see where his burpees are. Let's find that. Oh, there we go. So we see Scott doing his burpees. He does a good job of staying low as well. His pace is a little slower because he's taller, obviously, but he does a good job. And different strategies will affect different things. If you know you have this strong back and the weight's not that much, you can do like Terry does and just like, make your back and shoulder do the work and save your legs for those burpees, right? Because it's really a burpee workout. Like I don't care who you are, 90 burpees is way worse than 45 dumbbell snatches on each arm, unless you're very not strong, So that's what you want to focus on, is that efficient burpee. If you come back and look at Chelsea, like she's quick with her burpees, if you look down, both hands, feet out, pop up and over. Both hands, feet out. It's the same every time. There's not a step. She's not crossing over the back leg, over the front leg. See that? It's the same every time. Contrast that, keep in mind, Chelsea's been doing CrossFit for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now. Let's watch Terry do that's a photo. Contrast that with Scott. And Scott, notice he wants to like cross his legs over a little bit. He's not like as efficient. See that? It was a right leg, left leg jump kind of a thing. That your beginners are going to not be sure about how they go. Want to get to a point where every rep is the same. So that's really where you want to be. It's a burpee workout. You're going to have to partition your burpees. And so if you're a beginner or intermediate athlete, you're going to want to test that with like break it up into sets. You're going to want to break it up into sets. So I'm gonna do a set of 5 and rest. A set of, so maybe your first round, you're just doing 7s. I'm gonna do 7, take a quick breather and count your breaths. Count 3 breaths or watch the clock. I'm gonna breathe 5 seconds. I'm gonna go back into it. 7 burpees, 7 burpees, 7 burpees. And then the dumbbells, you can just go, assuming it's not a heavy weight, like you should just be able to go. And same thing, the next round of 21 on your burpees, you definitely want that, take that time and make it 7s. Then when you get to the 15s, make it 5s. But manage your rest. Make it a purposeful rest means you rest less. You know how long you're going to rest. And so that's what you do. Like I'm going to rest 5 seconds or 10 seconds or 5 breaths or 3 breaths. That's what you want to do. Okay, make that purposeful. If you are an advanced athlete, you're just going to go, right? You're going to get low and go and suck it up. And it's very Fran-like in the fact that you wanted to get over before the pain. I'm going to tell you this, that once you're in that middle round of 15s, your legs are going to burn. That's going to burn. You're going to feel that lactic acid. It's going to pop in. That's when you're going to start to push. And by the time you get to the 9s, you just have to suck it up and go. Like that's the thing. If you're an advanced athlete, you should never stand your burpee all the way up. And you should, if you're very advanced, you should go unbroken on the whole thing. And so the only thing that you're having to minimize is your transition time, right? And that's the thing that you want to watch for. I'll tell you this, Chelsea got a really good time because she was very consistent with her movements. And it's pretty hardcore. You can see her finishing out right there. Boom, last burpee right there and time. And then she's on the ground for several minutes and it looks very painful. And that's, if you're an advanced athlete, that's exactly what you should do. Push to that end. If you're a beginner athlete, we need to pace it. So those are the 2 points. Beginners athlete need to pace and focus on deliberate rest. So maybe 7s on your 21s, like every 7 you take a break, right? And then on your 15s, do it 5, 5, 5. And on your 9s, do it 5 and 4. If you can suck it up and push through 9, great. If you have to, if you're dying, 3, 3, 3, So deliberate rest on the 9s, or deliberate rest if you're a beginner athlete. On the 21s, it's 7s, 15s, 5s, and the 9s, it's at the bare minimum 3s. That's what we're going for. If you can 5 and 4 on the 9s, great. And we're just managing that dumbbell. The only issue you'll have is if you are not strong in your shoulders and that dumbbell is heavy for you, you're gonna have to use a lot of legs and make it a leg workout, not a back workout, because we're hinging every time. When you're done, back to the press ups. We're gonna do press ups when we're done. We're gonna stretch our hamstrings and our glutes. That's what we're gonna do, stretch our shoulders, thoracic extension, press ups, thoracic extension, chin tucks, hamstring stretch. That's what you're gonna do. Guys, if you like this stuff, like, subscribe, and have a great 24.1. Rock and roll.